Hyundai Xcent. Hyundai's entry-level sedan in the market. It replaced the Accent in the market in March 2014. The Xcent is based on the Grand i10 platform and there are visible design elements which say the same. The front, for example, is the same as the Grand i10, the same shape of lamps and a line of chrome in the grille. The fog lamp housing is neatly placed at the lower end of the bumper and overall look is neat and impressive. The side profile is quite the same as the Grand i10 too. It's the rear where the difference lies. Entry-level sedan segment is not particularly known for design, though the boot in this case blends beautifully, but when you take a look at the car from the rear, it does fall flat. The lamps look rather tiny and there isn't much appeal there.
The entry-level sedan market in the country has never lost its charm. The Maruti Suzuki Swift Dzire has always ruled it and continues to rule it. The battle in this segment is actually for position number 2, which is very close between the Honda Amaze and the Hyundai Xcent. Now, Xcent was launched about a year back and has impressed the buyers of this segment deeply. Today, we are out to find out what makes this so special. What we're driving today is the petrol top variant of the Hyundai Xcent.
The Accent is a people-pleaser car. Why? Well, step inside the cabin. Hyundai with the Accent has played very smartly with the customers. It's a car that will give you more than what you expect from an entry-level sedan.
Now, when you sit inside the Hyundai Xcent is where you start feeling that it's actually a Hyundai. Hyundai has loaded this car with as much gadgetry as you can possibly want. This system is first in its class. It has Bluetooth connectivity, it has aux-in, it has USB connectivity, it has 1 GB of internal storage where you can store all your music, and then only when you want to put in new songs you have to do it. The aircon is automatic and it's very easy to operate. The whole fit and finish is excellent. You get steering mounted controls, you get that finesse that you want from a car. So when you sit inside this car, you don't actually feel that you're sitting in an entry-level sedan. You feel like you're sitting in a much premium car.
Not just feature-rich, the car is extremely practical too. Cubby holes are in abundance. From your phone to your car key to the toll change, you will find a place for all your knickknacks. To pamper the customer, it is the first car in its segment to offer you a cooled glove box. Seat cushions well and are very comfortable, though the missing detachable headrest in the front might be a problem for a selected few. Move to the rear and the story continues.
Now, the rear seat of the Hyundai Xcent is also quite impressive. The driver's seat has been adjusted to my height. As you can see, the knee room here is actually phenomenal. 3 passengers can sit comfortably. There's good amount of under-thigh support. Again, first of its kind, it has been very thoughtful for rear seat passengers as well. Segment first, you get AC vents here. You also get an armrest with 2 cup holders and then bottle holders in each door.
Also impressive is the boot space. Hyundai Xcent has the biggest boot in its class with space measured at 407 litres. The Hyundai Xcent is powered by the 1.2-litre engine, developing 83 PS of power at 6000 rpm and peak torque of 140 Nm at 4000 rpm. The Petrol Xcent has an ARAI tested economy of 19.1 km to a litre.
The petrol motor in the Hyundai Xcent is the same as the one that you get in the Grand i10. So we already know this engine. It is quite drivable, especially if it's a point A to point B car in the city. It's very convenient to drive. On the highway, that it does feel a little out of breath. So every time you're overtaking on the highway, you will have to take a downshift. In the city, that's why it pulls beautifully. In the second stop and go traffic, in the second, if you just want to move slightly ahead, you don't have to take a downshift.
The Xcent is a decent companion in the city with a very strong mid-range. The car has enough low end punch and will pick up fine in second gear in traffic. However, you will have to take a downshift when you're going up a flyover in the city. The strength of its engine is mid-range and the gearbox is a delight.
The steering on the Hyundai Xcent is a little bit of a disappointment. If you're parallel parking or if you're trying to cut a corner quite sharply, it doesn't respond very well, and at lower speeds it does seem a little heavy. On higher speeds, if you're on the highway, you have to give it continuous input to maintain your speed and for it to respond. So it's not a steering that instills a lot of confidence into the driver. It's a steering that's comfortable but not very confident.
The Xcent is not very confident at higher speeds too. The steering gets wobbly when you cross the 100 km per hour mark on the highway. The Xcent has more city-friendly traits, though the suspension is good enough and irregularities of the road do not affect the comfort of the passengers. With a ground clearance of 165 mm, there isn't much to worry about. Plus, there is reverse parking sensor with camera, day-night mirror, driver and passenger airbag and ABS as optional on the SX and SXO variant to make the deal even more tempting. For all those features, the asking price is 6.87 lakh for the SXO version.
Well, when you step outside the Hyundai Xcent, it's actually very difficult to not be impressed. If you don't like the exterior of the car, the interior is something that will just blow your mind away. It's got all the features, it's got all the gadgetry, and it's got the finesse that you want from a car. And the icing on the cake is the pricing. It's priced just right. It's just the family package that you can look for.